This podcast is brought to you by Place Pros, commercial and investment real estate, and NicoTour.boutique, your one-stop shop for everything cool.
Will you give us a little something? A little song?
I might. It's a little early.
I bet people ask you that all the time.
You know.
Do you have like a practice where you like lubricate your what is that?
With
what is that
whiskey.
into? With whiskey? You're like a true nighttime singer, unless you're drinking whiskey during the day.
Jazz all the way. No, I could never. Whiskey. No, not during the day. That's a little rough.
Yeah, that's a little rough. All right, we are here with Kristen Warren. You are like Brevard's leading lady when it comes to jazz and everything music. I've heard so much about you, and I'm so happy that you're here with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely. So I want to know everything. So,
well,
how did it start for you? Yeah, it all started.
Well, let's see. What is the short way that I can sum that up?
Well, did you grow up here?
I did. My father's military. As you know, we have a lot of military families in the area.
Yes.
And so my dad retired at Patrick Air Force Base. So I was actually born in Texas.
Okay.
We moved here. We moved to Utah,
Ooh.
which was, culture shock. Okay.
Yeah.
And then it was cool. It was really cool. It was just different. And then we came back. And so I've been back since I was 11 years old.
Okay.
And I grew up in a very musical family, even though nobody else sings. My father is a huge enthusiast, massive record collection that he won't let me touch to this day.
Really?
Yes, my mother used to teach dance.
Cool.
Beautiful dancer. And so I grew up hearing all kinds of music, being exposed to all types of different artists and eras. And so I began singing for audiences when I was 7 years old in church.
Wow.
Yes. In church, they gave me my own song. I was 7 years old, and they just kind of threw me up there by myself.
And no stage fright.
Oh, terrible stage fright.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I thought at that age maybe like it was like, I don't know.
It was exciting. I wanted to do it. I knew I wanted to do it, but I wanted it to be good. So I was very nervous, and it meant a lot to me.
Right.
And so that was kind of to me the sign, because as nervous as it made me, I wanted to do it, and I wanted to do it again.
Yes.
And so that's where it started, was church. Fast forward, when we came back to Florida, it was about 2008, and I met a local pianist who had just lost his singer. And he asked me if I sang. I met him at a coffee shop. And he said, "Do you sing?" And I said, "Yeah, a little bit."
You were a teenager?
Somewhere around there, yeah.
Okay.
And he said, "I just lost my singer." We started rehearsing, and I started doing open mics around town, and it just kind of built from there, So I've been really blessed since 2008 to have been able to build basically a music journey, career, if you want to call it that.
Absolutely.
In the area. And now, as I continue to do that and travel and grow, now I'm really passionate about giving the platform to other people.
Oh, yes.
So
that's what a true master does, though, right?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm trying. I don't know if I'm a master yet,
Well,
but I'm working on
street says otherwise. So did you go to school in the area?
I did. I went to Holland Elementary, Satellite Beach, Delora, also, and Satellite High.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm a Scorp.
Yeah.
I'm a Satellite Scorp. Go Scorp. Are you a Scorp?
No. I'm a bulldog. Jesse's not a Scorp.
Away.
Yeah.
All right.
I hear the football games from my patio.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, that's acceptable. I'll accept
Totally.
that. And you're you're a bulldog.
I'm a bulldog.
So that's Mel High.
Mel High.
Right?
Yeah, class of 2000.
Rock on.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Mel High's awesome. I did a lot of theater competitions there. That was my thing in high school, was theater.
Theater.
Yeah.
Cool. Have you
Yeah.
ever done anything like locally, like Henniger Center?
Oh, yes.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Do you still?
Oh, well, now I kind of curate my own. But back in the day, the most recent community theater production that I did was actually a one-person show about Billie Holiday called Lady Day at Emerson's Bar and Grill.
When was that?
That was 2017, directed by Pam Harbaugh.
Do it again. Do it again.
Oh, we plan to bring it back.
Oh, good. I will be there.
To Heidi's Jazz Club. So we want to do it at Heidi's.
Cool.
Yeah. What's really cool about that play is I think a lot of people came thinking it was just a musical review.
Yeah.
And it is not that at all.
Oh,
of course, there's music in it, but you're getting like kind of an up close and personal encounter with Billie Holiday at the end of her life.
Oh.
It's based on like her last string of shows before her unfortunate passing.
How did she pass?
Well, unfortunately, she had an addiction to heroin.
Oh, wow.
And it caused her, I think, some kind of cirrhosis, some kind of organ failure.
Okay.
And she was actually under arrest when she died. So they had her handcuffed to the bed.
Oh, no.
It's really crazy how she passed. But that was basically, she was hunted by the law at that time because she refused to stop singing Strange Fruit. If you're familiar with that song.
Yes.
So they had banned that song. It was, controversial. It's going to get these people in an uprising. And she was like, no, this is something that I have to sing. This is a message I have to continue. And so against the law, she continued to perform that song. And so ultimately, that's what kind of caused her demise.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah. Amazing woman, powerful woman, brilliant songwriter. So it was really an honor for me to portray her.
Absolutely.
And so I'm dying to touch that role again. So we're hoping to bring it back in the next year.
In the next year?
Mm-hmm.
At Heidi's?
At Heidi's.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah. that'll be cool. It's really powerful. So just bring a box of tissues.
Okay. Thanks for the warning. I saw you did a TED Talk.
I did.
Tell us about that. Was that in London?
It was in New York City and in London.
Oh, wow.
Really wild how that came about.
Yeah.
So there is a friend of mine named Samir who does, he's basically like he advocates for the environment and global warming. And his whole thing is he wants to make that conversation mainstream. How do you make that conversation mainstream? You use music. Music, is something where you can reach younger people because that's who needs to be, involved in the
and aware.
Yeah, in the efforts to, reverse, global warming however we can.
Right.
And so he reached out to a friend of mine named Myverse, who is a female MC, and she had started to write a song, and she realized she needed someone to write and sing a hook on it, and her fiance's brother used to produce for me.
Okay.
And he was like, why don't you call Kristen? It was just like, boop, 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 boop. So she calls me literally out of nowhere. She's like, hey, you want to do a TED Talk?
Are they from NYC?
They're from Orlando.
Oh, okay.
She goes, you want to do a TED Talk?
Yes.
And I was like, let me think about yes, of course. And so next thing I knew, we're in the studio, and then, probably a month later we were in New York at TED Studios.
That's
performing
amazing.
it. And then it went over so well. They were like, would you like to go to London and do it at TED Countdown? And I said, absolutely.
Yeah. When was that?
That was 2022. That was the end of 2022.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So not too long ago.
Nope, not long ago.
And then you got a spot on CNN because of it.
Because of the song, yeah.
But the underlying is the climate change movement.
Yes.
So was there like a talk? Was there a speaker? Or was it all just a message about
Samir
music?
spoke. And then he would bring us up to close out his talk. So it was just really, really surreal being there. I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't. I was like, is this real?
I know. Well, because they have those like, I don't want to say generic ones, but the ones where like
it's just lectures,
or like they're not. I don't know if they're affiliated. I don't know. Like a friend of mine was standing next to the TED, but I don't think it was a real one. It was just something.
Sure. So like all TEDs, official TEDs, are connected.
Okay.
So there's basically TED. I think what you're talking about is TEDx.
Yes, TEDx.
So, yeah. So TEDx, you can, that's anywhere. You
okay.
can have. But
Is it
TED,
yeah, no,
is
that's
New York
like
City.
the real deal.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
and is TEDx affiliated?
absolutely,
Okay,
it is.
but it's
like
just a local
right
chapter branch about it.
Exactly. That's
Okay,
exactly
no, but
right.
you went to the real deal.
I did. It's all real, but like this was like the like if it's a tree, like this is the
Yeah,
is the main
you're
part.
it's the bark.
Yeah.
Cool. Have you ever been to? Had you ever been to
I
London?
had never been out of the country ever.
Really? What did you think about London?
I loved it.
Yes. How long did you
I
get to
loved
be
it.
there?
We were there for 5 days.
That's a good amount of time.
It was supposed to be 4, but I missed my flight, so I ended up.
That's the way to do it. That's the way to add an extra day.
Yeah. One of the coolest things that happened there, I have to tell this story. One of the coolest things that happened, we had some downtime, and I was like, I want to find a jazz club. Like,
Yeah.
let's find a jazz club. Let's go. And my verse and her fiance, we were like, yeah, let's just. So we just hit the pavement. Let's find a jazz club. And we saw 3. Is that my phone? I'm sorry. Let me turn this thing off. So, no, that wasn't. Yes, that's my phone vibrating. I hope it doesn't pick up on the microphone. Anyway, so we so we hit the town. First jazz club was really swanky, beautiful,
Okay.
and they were cool until I asked to sing. So I was like, hey, this is my first night ever out of America. Do you mind if and they were like, you have to ask the manager. You can't just get up and.
That's so bold of
like,
you, though.
I was like, yeah, like come on. It's like,
Yeah.
Come on. But they said no, so we just left. Okay.
Bye.
The next jazz club was so packed we couldn't even get in. It was like a line around the building.
Right.
But what was cool about that, it was young people. It was all like people like our age that are like lined up to see like music.
Yeah.
And so that was cool.
Did you get in?
No, couldn't get in.
Couldn't get in.
All right, next. So we come across this little hole in the wall called Jazz After Dark. Ooh. And the doorman says, £20. £20 to get in. I'm like, $20? It's a little hefty for this little shoebox.
Steep.
And so we're sitting there like, do we really want to pay? And these locals walk by, and they're like, £20? I wouldn't pay £20 to go in there. Don't do it. Doorman gets mad at them. Well, you can F off, right? And we're just like, tennis match. Like, we're just like, whoa.
What do we do?
And it was like, wow, this is really authentic. So we were like, you know what? Let's just go. Let's just do it. We're here. When are we going to be back here? So we paid £20 a head to get inside. And immediately you notice portraits of Amy Winehouse all over.
Oh, wow.
My friend, my verse, is very bold. So she walks right up to the band. Yo, my girl's amazing. You got to let her. Okay. So they let me get up.
They did.
And then they kept calling me back up and calling me back up. Cool. So I sang like 3 times. It went really great. And I kept noticing, like, I was like, man, there's a lot of Amy in here. I went to the owner and I said, did you know Amy Winehouse?
Yeah. What's up with that?
And he goes, this was her spot.
Oh, wow.
This was her hangout. He goes, the VIP room is where she wrote Back to Black.
Holy
now,
cow.
for me, that was massive because I'm a huge, that's a huge idol of mine.
Yeah.
And to know that I pretty much accidentally stumbled upon.
Yes. And we're willing to pay the £20.
Yeah, almost didn't. But, like, I sang in a place where one of my idols sang. Was like.
Do you remember what you sang?
I sang You Go to My Head. I sang, like, 3 jazz standards.
Okay.
Because that's
that
stuff
is
that
really cool.
It was awesome.
Did you get to go to the backstage or the VIP section?
Yes. Yeah, it was right there. Yeah.
You were in the
little red room. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful story.
It was so cool. It was just such a blessing to like have that experience, and so I do want to return to London with my band next time. And
yeah, cool. Did you have anything like that going on in New York?
Yes, we played. Actually, yes, my band met up with me, and so after TED, we played a place called Queen's Brewery. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and just jammed out. Got to meet some cool people. Yeah. New York is amazing. Obviously.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was there for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
You lived there?
Yeah, I lived there for almost 2 decades.
Whoa.
Yeah. It was. I just came back here 2 or 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So. Yeah.
Do you miss it?
I do, and then we go and visit, and then I don't. It's a little grimy right now. You know, like when we were there, I feel like it was like the Disneyland era where everything was clean. And
where did you live in New York?
I lived on the Upper West Side the whole time.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
didn't budge from the Upper West Side.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, you lived in a nicer
Nicer part
area.
of town.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have loved to live in like Chelsea though, or somewhere
Mhm.
further down, West Village, of course. But I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. I think you get the most for your buck on the Upper West Side.
Well, you're gonna spend a lot of bucks regardless.
Yes, you are. Oh my God. Looking back, I'm like, why were we
Ow.
paying that amount of rent?
Yeah, yeah. It is not cheap. But
No.
I mean, the energy, the vibe is there's
and
nothing,
the experience. There's nothing like
there's
it.
nothing like it.
Yeah, I couldn't have
Yeah.
gotten to where I am without packing my bags after the hurricanes hit. And what was it, like 2002 or 3?
He says 4.
I couldn't have been 4. But yeah, I was like, I got nothing left to lose. Let me just pack up and go.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was an adventure.
That is
and
awesome.
it kind of feels like a different lifetime now. It's weird.
Mm. Well, I mean, look at how much has changed in the world since 2003.
Yes, I know. 2020 really.
Like, can you like going back? Like, if I were to go back in time and tell my 2003 self, okay, in about 17 years, there's gonna be this thing called COVID, and it's gonna come and like change everybody's lives, and it's gonna be creepy, and people are gonna have
like,
masks,
no.
and they're gonna create their own masks
Oh my
out of like stuff around the house, and nobody's gonna really know like how to handle this.
Nobody knew.
And now like coughing or sneezing in public is like
Oh
totally
my
bad.
I feel like now it's okay, but there was
a
a point where you're just like, I have to run out of the store to cough. My God, because it was like a sin.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Or
Things are getting
like
better now, though.
people would like pull their masks down to cough.
Oh my God, I know. Like, why?
No.
That's not the point. I know.
I
It was
just-
crazy.
Nobody could have ever fathomed what we would experience.
We had no idea what we were doing.
No idea.
Well,
No
there was
idea.
nobody left that actually went through the last plague, so we had no idea what to
Can't
do.
ask those folks.
Those folks are gone. Yeah.
Wow, that's funny.
We need to write stuff down so that, 4 generations from now.
Do we though? Because we didn't really. I don't know how. What can we really say?
I know. I kind of wish I did record
We
things.
don't know.
But it was terrifying.
Good luck.
You were here during that time, which
Yes.
I don't think Florida was as terrified as.
No, we
As
were.
the
That
New
was the
Yorkers
problem. We
were.
were very relaxed.
Yeah. No, I came here like a year or 2 into it. And that's why we finally were able to relax. We were going to the beach and we're like, well, maybe we should just move here. 'Cause everything became remote, so it was easy
Yes.
to get up and go.
Yes, in New York, everything was locked down.
I know. I spent months in my home.
Wow.
It was crazy.
That would drive. I mean, granted, it's for public safety.
Yeah.
At least
No, but
But that would drive
You
someone
go
nuts.
cuckoo.
It would drive you crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the first time we ventured out. We were freaked out by people, which is so weird.
Especially in New York, like.
Yeah. Well, we were in Jersey by then, but
Oh, wow.
just
Yeah.
right on the outskirts of New York. But it was still freaky, and I have a daughter who was in preschool or kindergarten aged, and she was like, I remember the first time we went out in public, and somebody got really close to her, and she flipped.
Bless her.
I know. You have kids, yes?
I do.
How many?
I do. I have one.
One.
One is good.
One is good.
One is good. Yes. So speaking of that, my son is on the autism spectrum,
Okay.
and this month is Autism Awareness Month.
Right.
And today, I, with a friend of mine named Brandon V, actually released a song for Autism Awareness Month.
That's
Yes.
wonderful.
I will send it to you. Hopefully, we can splice it in
when,
here.
Where can we listen to that?
It is on all platforms. It's called Yellow. Brandon V, who you would love, incredible artist. He has a daughter who was diagnosed recently, and she, unfortunately, like a lot of kids on the spectrum, was dealing with bullying at school to the point where he had to remove her.
Ooh.
It's happened with my son as well. It's just a thing, with kids that are different. it's just a part of life, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And just talking to her, and he goes, well, what is your joy? Like, what is, and she said, yellow.
Aww.
And he said, well, don't let anybody take your yellow. So that's the name of the song that that he wrote for her. And then he asked me to be on it. So I'm on it, and my son is on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Is he a singer too?
Yes, he has a beautiful voice, and he is an all-around ham.
Really? How old is he?
No idea where he got that from. He's 10.
He's 10.
He's
Okay.
10 years old. And when I told him, I said, all right. I said, today you have your first recording session.
Oh, I love that.
He was so excited. He's like, okay. And he got to the studio, and he goes, what time do I record? Like 10 minutes. He goes, 10 minutes. Okay. And we were like, wow, this kid is very serious. And he got in there, and he knocked it out. It was like he'd been waiting his whole life to do this. I was really proud of him. And I think that's so important, for children, whether you're on the spectrum or not, honestly. To have that outlet, to have something to express yourself, and to just, I feel like all children are very creative, and to give them that, is important for them. Because life can be tough, dealing with peers and learning how to socialize and just learning how to navigate the world.
Is that the biggest sort of challenge that you guys are facing, is the socialization?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes, without a doubt.
I'm learning more and more about autism because it wasn't, when we were at school, it wasn't diagnosed or recognized.
Right, yeah. They were just weird kids.
And then you look back and you're like,
Right, exactly.
So
and
what are sort of the things that encompass that, or what are the challenges? Or
well, like you said, so with kids on the spectrum, their biggest challenge really is relating to people socially, and navigating things that I think if you're not autistic, because I believe, because it's called a spectrum for a reason.
Right, because it could be mild or it could be very pronounced.
Exactly. And so I've become kind of a social coach for my sons. So it's like, okay, when you go to the playground, you introduce yourself and you say hello, things like that.
Yeah.
And just because he does want to make friends, he actually really values interaction. It's just he goes about it differently.
Sure.
And so for a neurotypical child, they would kind of see his behavior and think, and that's normal, but I think it's important to educate kids and say, just because someone is different doesn't mean that you can't be their friend or that they don't want to be your friend.
Right.
Just learning just kind of to how to recognize that and maybe how to learn how to communicate with them so that they can, have friendships.
And vice versa. I mean, you said you're coaching your son.
Yeah.
Is he picking up on it?
He is with a lot of help. Like we have therapy and we have, things. I go through parent training, with his therapist.
Wow, cool.
Yeah. To help him better.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it really is. It's really beautiful.
But maybe there should be training on the other end too.
There should be. there should be
a lot of things
that
there are not. Right.
Right. And so, we thought, what better way to kind of introduce that conversation than with, song.
I love that.
And, maybe, taking that song and kind of going further and like helping kids understand how to relate to other kids that are different.
Right. So you're using music through climate conservation, through autism. Are there any other sort of causes that you see you can like use your power for good?
Yes. So the shirt that I'm wearing right now, it says black on the front, box on the back.
Yes.
So I am the founder of Black Box Blackout,
yes,
which is an organization that I started in 2022, and it's all about uplifting artists of color in the area. I feel like representation is really important. I think everybody's voice is deserving. And so I kind of saw a need, because it was funny, like when I started playing out, I was like, man, I'm kind of a rare bird.
Special bird.
Right. And so, I was like, I really would love to give more platform and voice, more diversity and inclusion. And it includes theatrical productions, live art, Sunday dinner, all kinds of
all around town?
All around.
Cool.
Primarily in EGAD, but like we've definitely expanded. And now we're expanding into kind of a year-round thing. So we're going to have a monthly show at Funky Dog Improv, a first Friday show called Rhythm and Rhyme. It's poetry, music, kind of an open mic deal with like headliners at the end. I'm running that with my friend Eric Diaz, also known as Class, who is a local and an incredible artist, and the founder of Blind Men Productions. So we're collaborating on bringing kind of this cool hip-hop, jazz, poetry kind of night every month to the area. So it's just cool. We just want to kind of have more inclusion.
Is it scheduled yet?
Oh yes, the first one is May 3rd.
Oh,
first
nice.
Friday of next month.
First Friday.
Yep.
Okay, and will it be on a first Friday every month?
It will be every month.
Nice. I love that Funky Dog Improv is there.
Oh, they are great.
I know.
They are great. Shout out to Aaron and Holly, the owners. They're so open to different ideas, and when I first came to them with the idea of Black Box in 2021, the end of 2021, Aaron immediately, he had never met me. He did not know me at all. Oh. And it was a phone conversation. I called. I said, hey, I really want to use your space for this. And he said, sure, right away.
Oh, my gosh.
And I said, really?
That's great.
Okay.
That was easy.
They are just wonderful people, and they're all about the community. And yes, definitely support Funky Dog. They have an improv show that is killer every Saturday night. Every Saturday night.
Cool. I went there for a comedy show, not the improv, but yeah, I love that it's there. We didn't have anything like that growing up. I think Makoto's might have used to have like
Makoto's?
Yeah, isn't that weird? If you wanted comedy, I think you had to go to Makoto's.
Wait, the restaurant?
The restaurant, that lounge, they had like a lounge that is now just I think seating.
We have come a long way.
Going
to Makoto's, check out some comedy. What?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I know. It was crazy. But now we have Funky Dog.
Yep.
And I know you've partnered up with Derek Gores.
Oh, yeah.
Plenty. He's actually the first person that brought you to my attention.
Really?
Yes.
Thank you, Derek Gores. Love Derek Gores. Tremendous, incredible artist.
Yeah. And also a type of artist that is all-inclusive.
Absolutely. All about the community. He's always bringing, different painters and artists and featuring them in his gallery. Yeah. You can come to him with ideas, and he'll sit down. He'll take a meeting with you and listen to your ideas. Yeah. And like you said, and not saying this about myself, but like you said, with people who are masters of their craft, the next step tends to be they want to bring other people on board. And I think that's the right thing to do.
I think so too.
Don't be a gatekeeper.
Right. Share the knowledge.
Share the knowledge.
Spotlight.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. And I love that. And it brings so much success, you know?
It does.
Because you're just including everybody. And you're not hoarding the light.
Absolutely.
Don't hoard the light. What are your upcoming gigs?
Let me see. What do I have going on?
I saw that you go to Nashville.
Yes.
Are you catching that really cheap flight from Melbourne out there?
Is there a cheap flight?
I heard there was like a $34
You're
flight.
Lying. $40.
Yeah.
Okay, because we have been driving, and when I tell you, I'm really bonded now with my team. We have been driving. I didn't know there was a cheap flight out of Melbourne.
It's like one of two cities, right? One of them being Nashville, and the other one is like Pittsburgh, right? When I'm like between
is it
Nashville,
Spirit or
it's something that you'll probably be uncomfortable. I'm sure. Allegiant is Great Flight. Oh, okay. I thought it was maybe
you can sit
like
in a lawn chair with no leg room,
right,
for 2 hours
with no door. It will fly off mid-flight.
I didn't know that. No, thank you for that, because the drive is intense.
Yeah.
But we've been driving. We've been up there twice. Shout out to Rudy's Jazz Room in Nashville. They adopted us. Basically, it's an incredible venue.
How did you hook up with them?
Well, that is very funny. So a girl I went to high school with, her mother is friends with the owner.
Oh, wow.
Of Rudy's.
A satellite beacher.
Yes.
Wow.
Her name is Miss Valentina. And she's incredible. She's a healer. She's a massage therapist.
Nice.
And she came to one of my concerts and was a loyal supporter ever since. And so she reached out to her friend Lindy, who owns Rudy's Jazz Room in Nashville, and she got me booked.
Cool.
And she goes, yeah, come sing. And when I tell you that's the coolest audience, it's the coolest room. So we're going back in August. And hopefully, it's going to be a regular thing.
Yeah. Well, now with the flight that
Girl, thank you so much.
You can get a gig in Pittsburgh, too.
Absolutely. I've never been to Pittsburgh. Let's go.
Me either.
Let's
I
do
wouldn't
it.
know what to do at
Cool
Pittsburgh. Is it
Is
cool?
it?
Cool. It's hip.
Oh, I didn't know.
Oh, he said hip.
I have family there. I'm there like once a year.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, we should both take advantage
Absolutely.
of those flights.
Let's go.
Cool. All right. Yeah. What are your upcoming gigs? Tell
Well,
us. Where can we see you next?
So on the 25th, I have a show in Orlando that is actually it's a live recording type of show.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in downtown. If you give me a second. See, that's the thing.
I also
I should have looked it up. I should have. Hold on.
That's okay. You could also
Hold on.
tell us afterwards.
Okay.
And we'll put it on the comments or whatever.
All right.
I saw you were on PBS too.
PBS.
That's so cool.
It was cool.
I had to fast forward through the intro because
It's
it was
called-
so mellow.
It's called the Melrose Center, and they do like live concerts, and it was so cool.
And they record them?
It's in the public library.
What? That must
in
be
Orlando.
a big public library.
It's massive, and they have a whole floor dedicated to music production.
Ooh.
And so they do live concerts there, and
Cool.
I had always wanted to play that, and finally I got the
There
call.
you go.
And yeah, it's
Any
it's
other
on
big dreams?
PBS. Oh, yes.
So many.
So many. I'm hoping, well, not hoping. I will have,
There you go.
some singles released this year, which is a big one.
I was going to ask you about that. Have you
Mhm.
recorded? Do you have albums?
Oh yes, I record all the time. It's releasing that seems to be the problem.
Really?
I'm the kind of artist I go in the studio and I always start projects. But then when I go back, I want to start something new.
Yeah.
And then when I go back, I want
Yeah.
to start something new. And then so that's the
Well, do you have a
pattern.
producer that you work with?
I do,
'Cause
Professor West.
Don't they finish it for you?
Well, if it's not finished being written,
Oh,
he can't finish it for me.
Right.
But yes, the person I work with the most is Professor West in
And he's
in
a
Orlando.
local? Okay,
he
he's
is
in
in
Orlando.
Orlando. And his production is incredible. He knows my voice, and so and he creates an environment where I feel very comfortable kind of
Yeah.
playing. You have to play
Yeah.
to find the song, and you have to feel kind of a judgment-free zone, like
Yeah.
and he is a master at creating that. So I would say most of my catalog is with him, and most of my best work is with him.
But a lot of it's unfinished.
A lot of it is unfinished. We have that's so embarrassing, but yeah.
No,
So
it's so
it's
so
just how I work.
artistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like very
should
much,
see how many
very much an
canvases I
artist. I
have.
need.
Yeah, unfinished things. You have to have unfinished things to be an
Yeah.
artist.
Yeah, and then what happens is you go back and you say, "What do I want to finish?" Like listening
Yeah,
to it.
yes.
What deserves what
Time,
needs, yeah,
effort.
and to be revisited. And so that's what we are dedicating our time to now is
That's a
finishing
good
things. So
idea.
we have 2 that are ready for release, and so that is coming this year.
And then do you release them just as they're finished? Like there's no I feel like the album is dead. Is that right?
I've gotten that a lot. I have a lot of friends who do this that do not release albums anymore.
They just drop
Singles and videos.
Yeah.
Singles and videos. I'm old school. I want to have an album.
Yeah.
I
There's
wanna
something
have an
to
album.
it.
There
Especially
is.
if the songs sort of
Yeah,
have an
tell a
arc.
story.
Yeah.
And so I forget who it was. It was an older person that told me this, about kind of the 60s and 70s and going to the record store and
Yeah.
buying the album and, picking the perfect time to yourself to really put the record on and listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
And he said to me, whoever this person was, He said to me, people used to listen to albums the way people read books.
Absolutely.
And that always stuck with me. And I was like, I want to make an album like that. I want to make an album that you receive like a message. You receive like you're reading a book.
You
like
sit and you meditate with it.
You have to appreciate where music is now and the nature of music as far as, how people are getting seen, and it is a singles world.
It is, yeah.
But as an artist, I want to make something I'm proud of first, and if it's well received, cool. So I want the album.
Cool.
That's a goal of mine.
Okay,
so.
I think you'll get there.
Thank you.
Yes, I have faith in you.
I really appreciate it.
That's so cool. Well, where can we listen to the things now? And where can we find you online?
Well, I do have a SoundCloud account, soundcloud.com/Kristen Warren. I do have some things up on Spotify, but right now they're mostly features. Today, again, I have the song that was just released today called Yellow with Brandon V, and that's on all platforms. I have a YouTube channel with some live performance footage and things like that. Instagram.com/Kristen Warren Music. I do have a lot of songs and performance videos on there as well. But the official releases that are just solo releases are later this year. So
cool. We're looking forward to that.
Stay tuned.
Awesome. We will stay tuned. Do you have any music videos that you've produced?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
And are those on YouTube?
Yeah. They're performance videos.
Okay. But nothing artistic yet?
No.
How do you feel about that?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's kind of the natural next step. I was kind of like, should I release the singles without videos, or should I wait until there's a video to release them?
Right.
So I'm thinking it's going to be song first, then video.
Cool.
But yes, we do have some videos set up to be released after the release of the song. It is exciting.
Cool.
So excited. I think that I think people will like it.
I think so too.
Yeah.
What's not to like? I mean, you have the voice of an angel, really.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
I'm excited for everything to look forward to.
Yeah.
The Billie Holiday thing,
Absolutely.
your albums, everything else. Thank you so much for being here today.
It
was really nice to get to know you.
Great meeting you.
And you're welcome anytime.
Oh,
to
thank
come
you.
back. And if you have anything to release or say, or
okay,
yes, we would be happy to have you back.
Yeah.
Get to know you more.
Absolutely. Thank you. It's been a pleasure. And great coffee as well. Thank you.
Apocalypse. Oh, do you want to nominate someone to be the next guest on our local celebrity podcast? You were technically nominated.
I was by Steve Keller. Thank you, Steve. Shout out Steve Keller.
Yeah, he's
I love
great,
you,
isn't
man.
he?
No, he's just such a sweet spirit.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a tie for me.
Okay.
So I guess it just depends on. I mean, bring them both on.
Yeah,
at different times.
them both out.
So, actually, it's I'm sorry, it's a 3-way tie.
Okay.
So
the more the merrier.
First nomination, of course, is Creek. Creek
that's your band.
Yes, Creek is my backing band, but they also have a lot of material of their own.
Cool.
These are my brothers, and I admire their artistry so much. They've all really dedicated their lives to just being masters of their instruments, and I'm amazed every time I hear them play. So definitely bring Creek on. The next nomination is a vocalist named Jamala Scott. Jamala and I have been friends for years. She's a beautiful soul gospel artist. She does have, I think, her first single released, and just a tremendous voice and spirit. And I definitely think more people need to hear her. She is homegrown. She is from the area, and just a phenomenal singer. Jamala Scott. Shout out to my girl. And then lastly is the Speed Spirits. I know that Steve Keller talked about the Speed Spirits. I first saw them at Memento Music Festival in 2021, was it? And it was like I felt like, because I just walked onto the grass and I just see these guys I see like Melbourne's Mick Jagger like killing it in the front, and it was like I literally felt like I was back in time watching them.
Cool.
They are so talented. Like the energy and the electricity that they bring is just ridiculous, and I'm so proud of them. They've made a lot of strides. They're traveling too, but I love them, and I'm a huge fan, and I think it would be great to have them.
Yes.
So those are my nominees. Sorry, I couldn't pick one.
No, we like more than one. We like as many as we can get.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you again for coming, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes, we'll be hearing more from you soon.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
To be a sponsor or nominate a guest, hit us up on Instagram at local_celebrity_Brevard. Until next time, goodbye.